It's been nearly 50 years since 4 Marines were killed and 1 other injured in a military plane crash at MCAS El Toro. And now all of those Marines will finally be honored.
Our 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle tells us more about one man's year-long mission to make sure that those men are remembered.
For John Keene, these old pictures and articles tell a story of honor and heroism.
I'm going to make sure that they are remembered and their families know who they were and know what they did for this country.
Keene's cousin, Captain Robert Walls, was one of 5 Marines flying a routine training mission near Irvine back in 1970. While performing an advanced landing maneuver, the C-130 crashed on the tarmac. It was a flight one of the Marines wasn't even supposed to be on.
He called his best friend and said, "Hey, do you mind if you go on this flight for me today?" They switched seats. That cost him.
1 Marine was killed on impact. 3 others, including Captain Walls, would die a few days later. A 5th Marine survived the crash. Keene's cousin is buried here at Arlington National Cemetery.
I go up and visit him twice a year, typically Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
He knew how his life was taken, but he didn't know much more. During a visit to his grave earlier this year, Keene noticed a neighboring headstone of a Marine who had died the day before Captain Walls.
Something grabbed me, and this is the part I can't explain. Something put me on this mission right then.
Keene began researching and discovered the Marine buried next to his cousin was also killed in the crash. He then learned about 3 other Marines involved. Keene tracked down the redacted crash report, piecing together what happened through witness and Marine interviews.
They waited too late to pull the plane out of the angle of attack, and the plane hit, bounced, flipped upside down, hit again, bounced in the air, the left wing fell off, all 4 props fell off. The plane landed right in the middle of the airfield. Flames and fuel basically strewn down the runway. They said it was just a long string of fuel and fire.
The tragedy of that day led to important changes for military flight crews.
After that crash, the material that made Marine Corps and Navy flight suits was changed. They thought it was a flame retardant material. Unfortunately, it basically burned and melted to their skin.
Difficult discoveries Keene hopes others will learn from.
These guys made that ultimate sacrifice, and I want them to forever be remembered for that.
And now, thanks to Keene's work, they will be. A plaque preserving their names is set to be unveiled at Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, where the squadron the men belong to now resides.
Every other Marine that goes through that squadron will see that plaque and realize that there's 5 men that in some way or another touched their lives.
That was our Cassie Carlisle reporting. Keene has also been able to make contact with all but one of the Marines' families so far this year. He and other family members plan to fly into San Diego to attend a ceremony dedicating the plaques at MCAS Miramar in December.